The recent huge tragedy in Bihar has claimed over 100 lives. The official death toll as of yesterday was 82, but the unofficial reports tell us that the death toll could be double that number or even more. Many families have refused to submit the bodies of their near and dear ones for postmortem, as they have no incentive to do so. They would have readily agreed had the government announced compensation for the immediate family members of those who died drinking illicit liquor. As the Chief Minister has said categorically that no financial support will be given for drunken death, many families have quietly cremated their men. One is not sure if the local police could have advised some families to go quiet so that the toll numbers do not swell up, causing further embarrassment to the government. Even if that is not the case, the huge tragedy has clearly exposed the chinks in Nitish Kumar's armor. One begins to feel that the policy of prohibition that was seen as a political masterstroke 6 years ago. I remember in April 2016, fresh from a landslide victory, Nitish Kumar had announced a complete ban on sale, purchase or trade in liquor. Today, it seems that decision has become an albatross round his neck. Well, why was it a masterstroke then? Because Nitish Kumar had claimed for himself a moral leadership. That he was the first Chief Minister after Gujarat who has had the courage of conviction to give effect to Article 47 of the Constitution. The provision in the directive principle of state policy that ordains the states to prohibit consumption of intoxicating drinks and drugs. It was a political masterstroke as well. Nitish Kumar eyed a very big vote bank, that of rural women, who would give wholehearted support to this policy as they were driven to despair because of their men folks' drunken nuisance day after day. Nitish Kumar had said that as much, that during the election campaign, he had come across hundreds of women who had narrated to him how their men squandered all their money on liquor. And when those women protested, they were subjected to murderous violence. I want to wipe the tears of these hapless sisters and daughters. I am ready to forego thousands of crores of excise revenue to see smile on their face. That's what Nitish Kumar had said, and that indeed was a political masterstroke. Women in rural Bihar had risen in unison to hail that move. Nitish Kumar appeared to have welded a political vote bank cutting across caste lines. A vote bank which was personally loyal to Nitish Kumar. That was supposed to be a vote bank much larger than what the other two major parties of the state, the Rashtriya Janata Dal and the BJP, had. Nothing could be a better deal. A formidable vote bank, that too built on a moral foundation mandated by the Constitution itself. Today, the question is, has this dream run its course? In 2016, prohibition policy was seen as an asset. In 2022, 6 years down the line, has the policy turned into a liability? Even those supporters of Bihar Chief Minister would possibly think that way today. The current estimates tell us that Bihar, a relatively poor state, is losing almost 10,000 crore of excise tax money a year due to the prohibition policy. For a while, let us even keep that consideration aside. What is glaring in Bihar today is that prohibition exists only on paper. Liquor is flowing freely in Bihar. It's not just a case that it's available in remote places where the huge tragedy happened. It's very much available in every and any house in Patna, whoever asks for it. A parallel, well-oiled machinery has come up in the entire state, manned by powerful people who keep the police and the local administration sufficiently greased to carry on their business unhindered. Anyone who wants to get it has to pay a higher price, almost double the market price compared to the rest of the country. That's the only drawback. You get liquor, but you pay double the price. There is also another restriction. You would not get single malts or high-end scotch bottles if you are not among the top layer of the elite. Whether it is the political elite or the bureaucratic elite or the judicial elite. The rest of the brands are available to everyone, to all and sundry. No wonder Lalu Yadav, when he was in opposition, that is after Nitish Kumar had bolted and returned to the BJP in 2017, he had publicly said that an illicit liquor trade having a turnover of 20,000 crore or more was operating in the state. Those who were processing and selling country liquor, Desi Sharab as we say, legally before prohibition set in, have now masterminded the illicit Desi Sharab business. They do not have to pay tax anymore. They just have to keep the local administration in good humor. It is a win-win situation for all players in the game. Nitish Kumar is happy that he has built a vote bank. The stubborn local politicians of all parties, whether it is JDU, RJD or BJP, who are happy that they are part of a flourishing liquor business. In fact, in a state where hundreds of thousands of youth are unemployed, quite a few of them have found job. They have become part of a delivery army, just as the army of Swiggy or Zomato, to supply liquor at home. The police force has been slushed with illegal gratification money. Don't you see? An SP, an IPS officer, is on the run as thousands of liquor bottles were found from his backyard and huge amount of cash has been recovered from his house. Same is the case with many CEOs and SHOs. That is a flip side to the story as well. Nitish Kumar's army of policemen had to demonstrate to the big boss that they are on the job. They have lodged a fire against hundreds, thousands of poor people in remote places for consuming alcohol. They have arrested many of them as the prohibition laws are very stringent. Apparently, 4 lakh cases have been registered. Jails are overcrowded to the last inch. The judicial system in the state is virtually clogged with the bail applications. In this backdrop, the huge tragedy has come as a stark reminder as to how a well-intended policy has gone asunder, as it was not thought through before implementation. Nitish Kumar today stands at the crossroads. If it decides to withdraw the prohibition policy, that will destroy the politician with a big legacy at one go. If he plods on with the same policy, his political and moral standing will suffer 1,000 cuts every day, day after day. He will have to make a choice. It is indeed a Hobson's choice.